Hi, Coach. Coming off a pretty solid fall showing from the team, what are your thoughts kind of going into the spring season as that gets ramped up?
We're all pretty excited. Everyone's pretty hungry. We had a couple chances to win and won on top of that. But the big thing I think all of our guys are feeling is that we played solid, but we didn't play. There's still a lot of room for growth. If you look at it, I mean, obviously Pat had an incredible fall, but we had the same lineup 4 out of the 5 tournaments, and within that lineup, I know everyone finished in the top 10, and I think 4 out of our 5 finished in the top 5 individually at times. So it's not to say that's going to all happen on the same week, but to get on a run where we have everyone finishing no worse than top 25, top 30 is very realistic. And I think that's been kind of the big push internally with everyone is like we need to keep pushing this thing forward. So everyone's been working hard. We had a great first week back. Everyone, I think the great thing is, guys are finding time to, outside of our practice, to do more on their own. And I think everyone is kind of rallying around that and pushing each other and, finding ways to compete against each other because this time of year can be a little difficult. It's cold. We have really good indoor facilities, but it can get a little monotonous, hitting into a net or we're going outside to see the ball fly, but it's, 25 degrees. So I think it's been great to see so far that the guys are embracing what we have and pushing each other pretty hard.
You mentioned it getting a bit repetitive, monotonous at this time of the year. How does going into kind of a match play event help with getting those competitive juices flowing a little bit more when you're really matching up one-on-one?
Right. It's a great way to start the spring. And I give a lot of credit to our guys. They took advantage of the winter break and the January term. Some guys knocked out some classes online and, took advantage of opportunities to practice in warm weather. So I think just playing golf, not quite as rusty as you might think we would be. But competitively, Pat played a couple of events during break, but other than that, we haven't really played since the middle of October as a team. So like you said, that one-on-one match play format, it's a much different feel, but it's kind of a nice break-in back to competing again because you're just trying to beat the guy that you're playing. And we've tailored our practice around that a little bit to highlight and emphasize that. It's an event just because it's unique. We don't typically play match play. It's something that really fires the guys up. So it's especially coming out of cold weather, it's a great way to start the spring.
And how do you figure this course to play this week?
So we've played in this event and on this golf course every year I've been here, and it's very different as far as Florida golf courses go. It's there's a lot of elevation change. The way the holes are framed, it's actually really a Midwestern golf course with some Florida vegetation. So it looks good to our eye. And even the greens, Bermuda greens tend to have a lot of grain in them, but these greens don't. So they putt even similarly to the greens we see in the Midwest. So it's something that's very familiar. It's a good golf course, but it's a very scoreable golf course. You can make a lot of birdies out there, and I know our guys are chomping at the bit to see it again. So,
with as much success as you had up and down the lineup, how do you expect your starting six to kind of shake out this time around?
I think there's a high level of confidence with any combination of the 8 guys on our roster right now. So the big thing is last year we actually came in, obviously this year the 1 seed. Last year we actually came in as the 8 seed, and we beat the 1 seed in the first round. So we're not going to take the 8 seed lightly in the first round. We know that. So even though it's a match play event, and you're going to be factoring in what your opponent's doing, I think for us, we're super focused on just preparing really well these 2 weeks. Our goal is to feel like when we're standing on the first tee Monday morning, we're already one up. In our minds, the tournament's already underway because of how we're going to prepare these 2 weeks. So, we're not going to really get ahead of ourselves. And if we continue to prepare the way we have been, then we'll have given ourselves a great chance to see if we can go down there and win.
Good luck, Coach.
Thanks.
Hey, Patrick, obviously had a few individual tournament titles, and the team performed really well over the fall. How has that kind of helped you in your preparation and kind of keeping that hunger going into the the meat of the schedule this spring?
For sure, having success is really rewarding, and we got off to a really good start to the fall season. We're definitely a little bit removed from that now, so we're getting back to the basics of that individual practice every single day and competing with each other. But having had some success and knowing that we really do have a good chance to make a really good run this spring is really gets us really going. So having that success was awesome to see, but we got a lot of work to do.
Coach mentioned a lot of work being done internally, away from official practices. How confident is the team feeling through all that as you start the season with the work you put in over break?
For sure. Yeah, we definitely, like I said, we're a little bit removed from the fall. We've had a few months to really focus on our fundamentals and what we needed to really get better at and improve on. And I think up and down the lineup, we've seen a ton of improvements. I've been really impressed by some of the younger guys on the team taking leadership, and really their leadership from the bottom up has pushed us to get a lot better over this off season. So it's been a really fun few weeks to get better. Last week I had a really good week of practices, and even after our practices are over, guys are hanging around and getting that extra thing done. That's going to pay huge dividends down the spring season.
You've played in this event a number of times since you've been here. What's kind of your approach to this course been?
Like Coach mentioned, this course is definitely doesn't look like a normal Florida course with a bunch of water. There's elevation, it's tight, but it's also a lot of birdie chances out there. It's pretty much the perfect way to start the season. You're playing one-on-one against somebody else, and you have lots of chances to make birdies. So we've been competing a lot internally, so we're going to go out there and just focus on ourselves. If we go out and play the way we should, we know we can win this thing. And we're the 1 seed this year, which is awesome. We know that we're the team to beat, but that's an extra little added pressure that's just going to allow us to have to focus on ourselves a little bit more. I think in the 3 years that we've played in it, we've been the 1 seed twice and the 8 seed once, and we've finished third every time. So those seeds mean nothing. You got to go out and you got to earn it.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.